Hey guys, this is Neon for CLOWNFISH TV, and I was out searching the web today for some interesting stories to talk about, and I was just informed that Fortnite is a libertarian fantasy. Yes, indeed. Fortnite is a libertarian fantasy. Now, this is coming from the Normative Progressive Gaming blog, which I've never heard of, but I did find this out on a news site. And we're going to read how Fortnite is a libertarian fantasy that also promotes toxic masculinity. I had no idea. I had no idea. This just, I knew the game was terrible, but oh my god, this is horrible. So let's read about this together, shall we? Fortnite is a libertarian fantasy by Jordan Ashley, dated yesterday. Fortnite, it's the biggest game in the world right now, and a fitting analogy for libertarianism, complete with its flaws and misinterpretation. As the latest development in the online shooter genre, Fortnite says more about the tastes of those communities than most would admit. Oh god, this sounds horrible. It reflects the development of toxic masculinity in these communities, while its broader appeal shows why these approaches are much less common than they used to be. A libertarian interpretation of Fortnite could read kind of logically, you find yourself alone in the world with nothing but a hammer. Then you build things for yourself, find weapons, and become completely self-reliant, building yourself up as much as you can based on only your own ability to scavenge and make the most of the world around you. Then, naturally, you murder anyone else you come across until you alone have all the stuff and everyone else is dead. But hey, that's just how the world works, right? Humans are selfish and Ayn Rand is great. Battle Royale games are the natural extension of the semi-Darwinist dialogue so present in online shooters. Oh god, this game sounds depressing. Be the best at building or shooting, make things for yourself, and use it for survival. Survival. All while screwing over anyone else at any possible opportunity. In these basic terms, it demonstrates the fundamentals of the popular interpretation of libertarianism. Gives more of an education on the subject than hours of reading a Rick and Morty subreddit. This isn't an explanation of the nuances of libertarianism as a whole, but the rampant misinterpretation that persists in gaming communities. It also reflects the flaws of this popular interpretation of the ideology, because, God, it's terrible to win. Winning is awful. It's really awful, and I'm glad that newnormative.com is pointing this out. Fortnite and the perils of libertarianism. Limited resources are scattered at random. How they are distributed is luck. Well, yeah. The raw materials and resources that are available to you is based almost entirely on luck. Yes, the same amount of resources should be allocated to everyone everywhere, because, you know, luck is stupid. There is strategy in prioritizing how to gain resources, but luck plays a big role. Some can hit the jackpot upon landing, while others land next to another player who's already found a shotgun. The playing field isn't level at birth or landing. I can't even read this. I'm trying to read this last sentence. The survival of the fittest mentality, a selective reading based on lucking out at landing. So, okay, so Fortnite is really unfair. God, it's brainwashing. It's brainwashing the millions and millions of people that play this game. I mean, holy shit. I had no idea this game was so devious. Yes, it's just a game. Oh, thank God. The mechanics exist to facilitate enjoyable gameplay rather than test sociological and political ideologies in groups of 100 people. However, given its popularity, its gameplay has political and sociological implications. Online shooters have long been the refuge of toxic masculinity. And the Battle Royale craze is its inevitable development. It has created the fantasy that a victory is an indication of doing more with the same resources. Something you earned outside of all other factors. God, life is just so unfair. It's so unfair. The changing face of online shooters. Look at that, it's cute. Online shooters have been famous for years for creating communities of toxic masculinity. Oh, here we go. A space where racial slurs are just normal conversation in the game. The growing alt-right section of gaming is linked with this culture of bullying. Racism, ableism, misogyny, and homophobia are all widespread because of this. I mean, this bastard of a game. Oh my god. The libertarian trappings of Battle Royale games appeal to these sections of the gaming community. It reflects the importance that these values are given in these communities. The sudden popularity of the Battle Royale genre reflects those toxic communities becoming increasingly drawn to online gameplay that reflects those values. Or maybe they just want to play a fun game. But yeah, okay, politics. Fortnite can demonstrate some of the worst elements of online shooter communities with the fantasy it creates of self-made men in a world of luck. Because, you know, nobody pulls themselves up by their bootstraps anymore. It's all luck of the draw. Everything in life is luck of the draw. It does the same for libertarianism, showing the fantasy of building something in isolation while calling any advantage something you earned, and any disadvantage to you is an unnecessary intrusion. Fortnite's community isn't like that at all. On rare occasions, players disregard the entire point of the game in favor of having fun and cooperating for a while, showing that, eventually, having fun together tends to win out. Then why write this article? This article is so depressing. The community that's emerged around Fortnite is refreshing compared to that of most online shooters. The age demographic of its players and low barrier to entry has definitely helped. It's still positive as a sign that the gaming community is moving past the toxic masculinity stage of online shooters. Thank God for that. You know, I'm glad that there is a silver lining, because I seriously just, I was so depressed reading this article. Now, here's a disclaimer. I do not play Fortnite. But I've actually, Squid King does play Fortnite. We've talked about maybe playing Fortnite sometime, but I'm afraid to play Fortnite. I'm afraid that the libertarianism of Fortnite will infect me, and I will become a more toxic male, and I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to be toxic. So maybe I should just stick to Candy Crush or something, because, you know, this sounds really competitive and edgy. And yeah, it's just a bad thing. Now, that being said, I think they need a Fortnite dance called the Atlas Shrug. Other popular stories on this site include Battlefield 1's diversity failure, Jacob Fry, the first bisexual assassin, one of Stardew Valley's bachelorettes, is emotionally abusive, and that's not okay. Cyberpunk 2077's transphobic tweet and a half-baked apology. Fortnite is a libertarian fantasy and the games of radical leftist game developer Celestia. So, I'm guessing this site is a wee bit political, just a little bit. I'm sorry, I like to have fun when playing my games. So anyway, I just thought that was a fun read. I read it and I was kind of like, oh my god, this guy like hates everything about this game. Good times, good times. Please subscribe to CLOWNFISH TV for more pop culture news, views and rants, as well as gameplay videos and art videos. This has been Neon. I'm gonna go play some Fortnite.